we are going to move on to Gen
music.
3, which so it's gonna seem controversial for me to do this, but
Ooh, spicy.
yeah, this is okay. I'm just gonna say it. This is the best fucking title out of Pokemon. Just hands down, full on. This is peak. I think, all things considered, like, if Gen 2 started laying the foundation for what we have nowadays, Gen 3, this is genuine, like, if Gen 1 and 2 are the prototypes, this is the official release, because this, 100%, like, story-wise, this has everything fucking down, and I love it. Especially considering just, like, we mentioned a little more about how, like, the legendaries feel a little more involved with Gen 2. They really, like, rolled with that idea to the point where now they have these legendaries, but they're incredibly unique. Because, like, Groudon works off of,
Groudon?
Like,
You mean
Groudon?
The best in the series.
Groudon and Kyogre.
And Raymond is Dia.
And Wei Chuasha. But Ground Day Ron is literally, like, this is what I like to call conceptual incarnation, where they take, like, sort of this, like, a certain property or a concept, and
This
they
abstract
embody
concept, yeah.
and embody
Like, they're literally the land,
like,
the
there's
sea,
a
and the sky.
land.
They're called the
sea,
Weather Trio.
Yeah, they're called the Weather Trio. And in its own way, it's just, like, it's very much a case of, like, it's just, like, regarding that, they, like, you can really tell throughout their story, they genuinely, like, embody that particular idea, that particular concept. And I genuinely fucking love it. Like, but regardless, I know people are like, oh man, like Pokemon Ruby really nails the end of the world aspect really well. I mean, have you actually witnessed a tsunami?
I think they're mostly talking about, like, the music there, because
but at the same time, it's also music paired up with, oh god, there's magma everywhere. There's lava.
It's not even magma, it's just really
everywhere.
bright sunlight, because he's literally just, the entire point is that the world's literally about to fucking boil alive. Okay, talking about Gen 3 as an actual game there, they do kind of feel like taking everything they learned there and just refining and improving the hell out of it, because Gen 3 is basically, if Gen 1 and 2 feels like where the series started walking, basically, this is where it started fucking sprinting in terms of all the features, how the games actually function, the general flow of gameplay, catching Pokemon, traversing. Like, this feels like where Pokemon, really started going, basically.
Yeah, and it did help that this was, like, on upgraded software, because if I recall correctly, this was on the Game Boy Advance.
This was the first Pokemon, that was Pokemon's debut on it.
Yeah.
Which actually did create one of the few reasons that, because Gen 3 is definitely a bit of a contentious one, and at the time it's because, some of you have heard this before, you couldn't transfer any Pokemon into it that weren't already in the game there.
Yeah, okay, it definitely, I will say this. It definitely did what later titles would do, which we'll get into. But it definitely, I mean...
They had an excuse here, to be fair, because they literally couldn't... Like, the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, they had no way of connecting like that where you could transfer them, so... Yeah,
and you could also argue, despite it being the bigger hardware, there was still, like, software limitations and storage limitations. So having all the Pokemon from Gen 1 and Gen 2 in this, mixed with all the Pokemon they had to get in for Gen 3, like, I mean, that would require them to actually make full-on, probably, like, updated sprites for all of those Pokemon, and it's just, like, when... This company is, like, on that, like you were saying, the Japanese work ethic, like, before. Yeah, I kind of feel like they do need to be given some slack on that.
Yeah, because I think off the top of my head, Gen 3 actually introduced, like, the third most number of new Pokemon at once. It's like 135 or something
it
like
was
that.
Basically, like, most of the Pokemon in that game are new to Gen 3. There's only like a couple of them. Like Zubat, Pikachu, maybe
Pikachu
Diglett.
and- I think like Sea King and Tentacruel. I'm just trying to think of the teams there.
Yeah, there's really not that many old Pokemon in the 3rd generation, which, if I had a fucking nickel for every time the 3rd generation of something I like primarily has new creatures, I'd have 2 nickels.
Which isn't a lot.
But it's weird that it's happened twice.
Also, this also was responsible for one of the biggest and questionable Pokemon, depending on who you ask, Gardevoir.
Ah.
I just want to point out, in Japanese, its name is Sir Knight, and it's meant to be a protector. So it's not their fault, it's everyone else's fault for being a bunch of horny fuckers.
It doesn't stop them
Don't
from being
care,
horny.
still sticking my dick in it.
Also, if I recall correctly, it's supposed to be based off of something along the lines of like a paper doll that you hang up, and like it chases away nightmares. Like
I can believe that.
Night, certain night,
Yeah, it's like I think it's some tie to like a Teru Bozu, which is just like Teru Bozu in Japanese culture is something you hang on your windowsill to sort of like pray away for rain, but. Yeah, it's more along the lines of being like a Baku, which is like an entity that eats nightmares.
That'd be more aligned with Drowsy, but yeah.
Yeah,
to be fair as well, I mean, if I had a protector that could scare nightmares away with a black hole, then I would be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, but Drowsy rolls around in its own shit. Look at it! Look at it!
Another big addition was abilities. Before Gen 3, there were no abilities on Pokemon, which allowed certain Pokemon like Gengar and Heracross to not be absolutely demolished by everything in front of them. As well as eventually resulting in everyone's favorite thing of all time, Power Creep.
Yep.
I love that.
Which cut to the mission from Halo. Wait, it gets worse.
We also have more Ghost. Yeah, double battles were actually so beloved somehow that they became their own game.
Yeah, and they also implemented like other especially like other Pokemon and even abilities for double battles, like Plusle and Minun.
Yeah.
And also moves like Earthquake and Surf that like work differently or have different calculations based off of what.
They even introduced moves exclusively designed around double battles, like Helping Hand and Follow Me.
Yeah, like ones that are designed to just give you more tactical edge in that.
Going back to like the story, like this genuinely has like they really went like overhauled on the characters. Like
yeah, no, it went from like most of the gym leaders had like basically no defining personality trait other than hi, I'm Brock, I'm rock hard. Meanwhile, it's like no, a lot of these gym leaders actually have a little bit of personality. Like Flannery's a fucking rocker chick. Your dad's a goddamn normal type gym leader, and well, for once the main character actually has a dad.
And it's also like, I mean, like the rival is a lot more. The rival is actually like this is I think the start of them.
One of them is.
One of them, yeah. But I think this is the start of them going more friendly with the approach because like both the rivals that you actually have in this are genuinely like they're actually a lot more sympathetic. They're a lot more sympathetic. They're a lot more like likable in a lot of ways. And then there is the new Team Rockets, which Team Rocket was very much like just a thug group, and Giovanna. Like, I mean,
Giovanna from Guilty Gear.
Giovanna. Little does he know I'm doing this to piss them off. I'm not saying that I'm stupid. I am, but I'm not saying that. But also I'm doing it to piss you off. Anyway, Giovanna Gana honestly, he was pretty one-dimensional, all things considered.
Yeah.
Like, he was in it for the moment.
He's a mob boss.
He was in it for the
moment.
Yeah,
he was literally a mob
for the
boss who would kill a kid.
Yeah. He killed the Pokémon, Team Aqua, Team Magma, and they are, like, these guys have fucking motive. Now, it's just like they're intending to actually try and, in their own eyes, help the world in a lot of ways. Like, Team
Yeah, they're basically
Magma,
extremist environmental groups.
Yeah, extremist environmentals. Like,
extremes,
like, essentially, like, Team Magma wanted to increase the landmass, whereas Team Aqua, I think, wanted to prevent drought, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
I think for Team Aqua, it's more they wanted to basically return the world back to its what they thought was its natural
Yeah,
state.
that's
you know,
right.
bring it back
Natural
to the oceans.
restorations, and they basically created Noah's Ark.
Well, they
basically
have,
did.
but
They basically did, because that's what happened.
Wanted to, you know.
They awaken Kyogon, and and he
Kyle
basically
the
flooded
Older.
and he basically flooded the world.
Oh, what's this I hear about you all talking shit about the best boy Cyndaquil?
Remember, one
oh,
person's
thank
based.
God.
Context to those who don't know, yeah, I think half of us who can are sort of like at very least like recovering from New Year's. Dude, I'm absolutely fucking crashing from the champagne I drank.
Yeah, I gave that feeling, but in all seriousness, though.
So, Rashi, do you have any opinions about best game Gen 3? And yes, you will be. You do have a gun pointed at your head for this.
Also, Fire Red and Leaf
right
Green
up the
is
forehead
maybe
and
an
say pull the
answer.
fucking trigger. But in all seriousness, I do think that Gen 3 is pretty good. Funny enough, it was the first gen I came into Pokemon with.
I feel like for Gen 3, I feel like it's a lot of people's starting point because, one, it was on new hardware. But two, I just think a lot of us were just like, oh man, the Poco what's it now?
Yeah.
Anyway, there's this weird fucking television show. Why the fuck are they talking about jelly donuts? Anyway. Like, come on, I think for the most part, a lot of us got introduced to Pokemon through that. I think a lot of us got introduced through 4K.
Here's I guess like something embarrassing to say about myself. I didn't know what jelly donuts looked like because I had never seen any in person until after I'd seen that fucking episode. Right? Because I was like 5 years old. So that colored my perception for a long time.
Okay, well let it slide this time because you were a little Dane Bram.
You little baby man.
I need to ask. I did need to ask, by the way, though. Did you ever use a frying pan to shield yourself from the rain?
Not
I'm not
yet.
gonna judge. I just want to.
Dude,
know.
I was fucking broke. You tell me.
You like work every time.
I totally would as well, right? If I had an ounce of melanin in my skin and could cosplay Brock, I totally fucking would. But I don't.
Not with that attitude.
No, even with that, even if I had a different pop cultural appropriation.
But yeah, I can thoroughly say that I do enjoy Gen 3. In fact, when I did come back to it from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah, like I'll say like. I want
to thank you for actually getting the point of Team Aqua.
I think I'm gonna go. I think that was me.
Yeah, because it was basic. I think both of us are, because basically they like. Dude, they like. I mean, you can say like they wanted to restore the Earth to its natural order. But I mean, at the same time, I mean like. A part of that was like stopping a part of that is actually like making sure that the world has water.
Well, it's more so like it's more so about like raising like the ocean levels and that far higher than they are already. The problem with both of them is that they don't realize, fucking around with a legendary Pokemon's not a good idea, so it goes well beyond what they were intending, and that's why you need to stop them. And why they
Plus,
came.
why would you want to add more water to a game that has too much water?
Fucking motherfucker! I was gonna say it. God damn it!
I'm not really thinking well, but I think I need to rate it.
Honestly, I gotta get this game. I gotta get this game an F tier because too much water.
Too much water.
Fucking. Oh my god.
Gamers are afraid of water. You love to see it, folks.
No, it's too realistic.
A little something for everyone.
Before we move on, we also gotta talk about another story in this fucking Zinnia.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Is that Gen 3? Are we going with that Gen 3 or Gen 6?
Gen 3.
We're talking about Fire Red and Leaf Green for Gen 3.
Gen 3.
Zinnia. The fuck is Zinnia?
Oh yeah, the Delta episode in like.
Yeah, the Delta
episode.
Oh. I never played through Oraz. I
Oraz?
have it download. Or is it Oraz? I don't fucking.
Yeah.
If I recall, oh wait, no, she was in Oraz.
Yeah, like that's why I'm asking, because like she was invented for the remakes there.
Dude, I'm absolutely fucking crashing from the champagne I drank. Anyway, we'll just talk about Ray Romano. I think Rayquaza is interesting because he genuinely, like, in comparison to the others, he's more along the lines of a Guardian.
Yeah, right.
He's like the mediator between these two, like in story.
Yeah, and that's reflected in his ability of Weatherlock, I think it's called, where it just negates all weather effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that makes him very different from the others, because the others are the primal incarnation of the, like, land and water. Meanwhile, Rayquaza just fucks off in the sky, and when these two fight, he just goes, fucking stop it.
It's literally, will you stop?
He's like one step away from pulling out a newspaper to whack them both.
Okay,
now
and that's called going
now
mega.
Comically large newspaper.
Now I'm getting confused. Deoxys was in this one, right?
Yes, he was.
He was an event.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was an event that you could not... Oh, wait, that was the fucking joke. I'm being stupid.
And he came back as the final quote-unquote antagonist for the Delta episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, you know what, I know we're not going to talk about it yet, but yeah, that was unironically like a really cool way to wrap that up there, like, because one of the big rumors with Gen 3 and that was that you could get Deoxys by, I think, doing something with like the rocket and that was in Moss Deep. So doing something is basically a weird rumor as like a rumor and a callback to that, and how you actually get him in a remake.
Cool.
Yeah, hats off, Game Freak. I've got no complaints.
Well, yeah, I gotta keep in mind we're talking about mainline gens because here I don't know. I do like the remasters and remakes genuinely much better. But yeah, I do have to keep that in mind. But yeah, either way, I mean, like, absolutely, like, Gen 3 is just peak Pokemon to me.
It also just has a lot of really niche hidden shit. Like, who the fuck figured out the Reggies? How the fuck did they figure that out?
The Braille!
Yeah, right?
Now you'll see a bunch of Braille instructions. That should maybe your tip of something weird's gonna happen.
Well, yeah, but like, who correlates...
Figured that out.
Yeah, who correlates dots on a fucking tablet to, oh yes, I gotta reincarnate Helen Keller for 5 seconds and feel my...
Like, oh yeah, we have to read Braille. Oh man, this Game Boy screen is feeling pretty smooth.
That's not what I'm talking about. A stone tablet, dumbass.
They give you like
not a fucking Samsung.
It's basically like a fucking cryptograph more than a Braille, more like a actual Braille, physical session.
Bro, just completely and utterly ignored the fact that I was talking about how, yeah, if you want the player to actually read Braille, they would have to feel it. Oh man, I'm feeling this Braille on this video game. This is a flat screen.
It's Braille that's open to interpretation, okay? I think for me, I'd probably put like Gen 3 collectively in like A tier in that.
Yeah, I would say it's A tier.
If it's just Ruby and Sapphire, it'd be B tier. Honestly,
but Emerald is such a good fucking third game that it's A tier.
I will fight you on this. I think it's S tier.
Well,
cool, we can all have wrong opinions.
Good for you.
Yeah, we're all wrong!
We're all just different degrees of wrong. That's the easy way to look at this.
Oh Lord Ninja is a black and white defender.
Oh, we're not even there yet.
I've not even played black and white normally. I've only played it in a random...
Yeah, you only play white.
Smug, trust me there. If you're gonna look for a black and white defender to roast...
Actually, I think I did play white. Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
Of course, the white one.
Oh god.
Oh no!
That has the black Pokemon.
I'm spending all my time for what you want. Take me running straight, till the night is up. Come get it. I don't know if I'm not making this shit for 3 years. I'm in the same damn spot. So tell me, let's get down with this. Yeah. I don't want any other business. Yeah.